Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how I get my mobile pet grooming van ready in the summer. Summer and winter are vastly different where I live, so watch out for a winter video coming up. If you don't already know me, my name is Savannah. I am the owner and operator of Pause and Relax, mobile pet grooming, and Reiki services, and I work out of a self-built mobile pet grooming van. Come with me to get it ready for work. All right, guys, before I start, I want to show off my sweater that my brother and sister-in-law got embroidered for me after Gracie passed away. I forget the company's name, but I'll put it on the screen and down below. I am not affiliated with them at all. I just thought it was such a sweet and thoughtful gift that turned out so great, and I would love to just shout out a small business. So, I have to apologize. The van is very dirty. All these shots would look 100 times better if I had given it a wash beforehand, but such is life, and I did not. So come inside with me and let me show you the aftermath of last night's groom. I spend my days looking after my two young daughters, and then I groom in the evenings and Saturday mornings. So generally in the evening, a very appropriate fly flying around here. Generally, once I am done my dog in the evening, I don't take the time to clean it up. I get everything cleaned and set up day of before I go to work at 5 p.m. So right now I am throwing everything out of the van that doesn't need to be in there anymore. So towels, happy hoodie, getting everything out of the bathtub so that can be disinfected. And then we will move on to walls, floor, basically just cleaning everything before I can go to work. So currently I'm utilizing my bucket bathing method, which I will link a video to how that works. So that is why I'm taking a bucket out of my tub that holds my fresh water. And then this bucket right here is what holds my gray water. So I have to take it out from underneath my tub, go dump it in the trees, and then I actually trade it out for that other bucket that's sitting right there. Every day I flip-flop them to just try to keep it as fresh smelling as possible. If you want to see a video of how my whole bathing system works with the tanks in the back of my van, I will link my plumbing video as well. Now, right now I utilize the bucket bathing method because I only do 1 to 2, maybe 3 dogs a day. So I just fill up my water right before I go to my client's home. The perfect temperature, and I utilize a camping shower. You'll see that in my bucket bathing method. But that is why I have to take out those buckets. So right now I'm getting everything off of the floor so that I can sweep/vacuum and mop. Now, right now I am using a broom because my van is currently not plugged into any power source. So if I was plugged in, I could use my shop vac and just vacuum up the floors. But this day I was too lazy to run an extension cord because, spoiler alert, I have not been using my generator. I have been strictly plugging into either my home or clients' homes. I also have a video on that. So right now I get to finagle around with either this large broom or I have a handheld broom just to get all the fur out of there because I don't want to plug it in, apparently. Once again, just depends on the mood of the day. Now I am moving on to spraying a little bit of disinfectant on my stairs just to kind of let that sit, get all the dirt up with my mop once the time comes. Moving on to spraying and disinfecting my tub. My general rule is that every single day, anywhere that a dog has touched needs to be disinfected. So that is the tub, the table, perhaps the floors, tools, etc., etc., this mat, the list goes on and on. Now, all of the time I get asked, what disinfectant do I use? And I am always very wary to tell people the disinfectant that I use because A, I cycle through different ones because I often hate the smell of disinfectants. And I'm very sensitive to smell. And B, I am like terrified to recommend a disinfectant and then for some reason somebody uses it, they don't use it properly, and somehow it still didn't disinfect good enough and a dog gets some sort of illness or reaction or something. So just use what you think is best. I don't know. I'm scared. I'm scared to give you a recommendation. If you are wiping down your surfaces every single day, I find that it's easiest just to spray it and then use paper towels. Because I am weird about germs, I don't like using rags that you wash. I feel like a paper towel, I can tell once it's dirty and I need to get a new piece. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just freaks me out using reusable cloths. It definitely is not good for the environment. But if for some reason you are not wiping down your walls every single day, then I find a little scrub brush, which I will show later in the video, works great to get the kind of grit off of your walls and then wipe it with a paper towel or a cloth if you prefer, if you're a better person for the environment than me. So I'm actually taking out my tub grate because I'm going to spray that down with a garden hose. And now you're just watching me wipe all of my other walls. There's lots of fun angles to get at behind my table. Alrighty-o. So I have taken my tub grate. I actually have two, but lately I've only just been using one for some reason. And spraying it off with my garden hose, I find that it gets in these grooves the best. This actually is just some sort of like mesh square that I found at Rona when we were building my van. And it works perfectly to keep the dogs off of these stainless steel tubs so it's not slippery. And they connect together. It's great. Here's my daughter playing with the water. So I spray it all off, then I will spray disinfectant, sometimes do a little scrub, depending how dirty it is, and then spray it off again. Depending what kind of disinfectant you are using, there may be rules, or I guess I should say instructions that you have to follow. Some of them you have to leave the disinfectant on for about 10 minutes before you wash it off. So make sure that whatever disinfectant you're using, especially if you're switching to a new one, to follow the instructions on the bottle. So yes, this is the little scrub brush that I'm using, and I will often use this on the walls. It's honestly from Dollarama. It's a 3-pack. I think it's like Javex brand for like $1.25 or something, but it works really well to get off all the grimy gunk. I don't always do this to my floor mat, but I felt like this was extra grimy today, so I did bring it outside to give it a rinse and disinfectant spray with my cleaner. Often I just wipe it down while it's inside the van. I will say sometimes these anti-fatigue mats will soak up the water, and then when you go to put it back in your van, it'll be like all squishy and moist. What a gross word. Inside. So beware of that. You might have to dry it out. Now, I will have to say, all of this process is much easier in summer opposed to when it's winter and it is literally minus 40 degrees outside. Most of this has to be done inside, or the van has to be warmed up first before I do this, but I guess we'll do a little comparison when I get ready for work in winter. Now I am moving on to mopping my floors. This has a little place where you put in your water and your cleaner and it sprays, and then there's a little pad on the bottom that you change out and wash. Right now, you can see that I'm spraying with a spray bottle back in behind my table because it is nearly impossible to fit a mop back there. Like how you saw, it was nearly impossible to fit a broom back there. So I actually wash back there by hand. Is this backbreaking? Yes. Is it essential and needed? Also, yes. You know, pros and cons of everything in the world. So I go and do that by hand. And then this little mop works pretty well for doing the rest of my van. I will say I do like to go around all of the perimeter and corners and do that by hand because, I don't know, I just feel like it doesn't do it well enough. I have like silicone caulking that we redo like once a year all around the perimeter of the floors because it's a DIY van, and I feel like it just cleans best that way. Also, I'll say, usually when I clean my van, I clean in work clothes. It's a big pet peeve of mine going anywhere near my van in my normal clothes because it's always furry in there. I go coated in fur, but I really needed to showcase the sweater, you guys. I really did. So most of the cleaning of the van is now done. There are lots of tasks that I do more like once a month, like soaking down my clipper vac hose and cleaning it out. Same with my dryer hose, my dryer filter, that sort of thing. So right now I'm putting everything back inside. I actually do have a little dog bed that you might have saw me just put inside. I wash that as needed. So these towels and the mop are going back inside. Towels get washed downstairs in my washing machine. I go back and forth between if it's gross that I wash my work towels in the same washer that I wash my normal clothes. But I also don't really feel like taking them to a laundromat, so I guess it doesn't gross me out that much. Now I am done inside getting everything ready in the van, and I'm taking my 5-gallon pail and I'm going to fill it with water for my dog. But actually, before I do that, if I have any leftover fresh water in the pail, this is what I use to water my plants around the house. So I have this snake plant that I actually got from a client for Christmas last year, and it's thriving. I love it. I also have this like dragon tree from my grandparents. It's massive. It's kind of janky and weird, but I love her. Ignore the yogurt on the windowsill and the dirt on the floor, my kid's purse, and all those things. But anyways, I like to use up the water because I need to fill my water right before I leave for work to get it the perfect temperature. And also, if you don't already know, we live on an acreage, so we have to haul our own water. So we are very stingy with our water because we want it to last and we have to pay for it. I mean, everybody pays for clean water, but you know what I mean. So I like to use up that water to water my plants. And if it's summertime, which I guess it is, but if any of my plants outside need extra water, I will use it for my bucket as well. So now we're in the garage. My husband is a plumber, which comes in handy being a mobile groomer. And he put this hot and cold water sink in our garage. And that is how I fill my buckets for my bucket bathing method. So now I am hauling it out to the van. And depending on the dogs that I'm doing or dog, will determine how full I am filling the bucket. Now, you will see in a second, I am lifting the bucket into the tub because this is the safest place for it to be where the lid does not open and the water does not go everywhere. But if this 5-gallon pail is completely full, if I'm doing like a couple dogs, it really is like a heave-ho and difficult for me to get in the tub, but I can do it. And now I'm going to show you my outfit because I'm about to leave for work. So I have a water bottle with ice because it's summer. I have my favorite headband and scrunchie that match that I have dogs. I'm wearing a Blue's Clues scrub that I bought off Marketplace. This Scrub Star long sleeve that I bought on clearance at Walmart. Some leggings that I have dedicated to just work because I refuse to wear normal clothes to work because they get so furry and itchy. And then my favorite Skechers dog shoes. I will link as much of that as I can down below. And I will also mention, Savannah, why are you wearing a long sleeve? Because I just got my Gracie tattoo and I am not getting it all janked up. Some things to mention that I did not show. I did not show my tool disinfecting methods. I usually do that as I work, as I'm done with tools, and I will do them very quickly before I go inside for the night. Also, I did not show how I empty out my clipper vac in the back. I only do that when it is full. Summer truly is the best where I live because you didn't see me in this video having to haul in any shampoos so they don't freeze, or tools, or heaters, yada yada. More on that in the winter video. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you haven't already, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so you can become part of my YouTube family. Hit the like button if you liked it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you would love to share your favorite cleaner that you use pet grooming, just because I don't share mine doesn't mean you can't share yours, and I have a very hard time finding cleaners that don't hurt my head. I would love to hear from you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I feel so blessed that you took the time to watch this video today, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.